Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach. Everything's all mixed up right now. I'm up early. I work from home. I'm my own boss. Why am I up early? I'm up early because yesterday I was up early and everything. These dentists, endodontists, they're always like, we can get you for 6:45. Like, why are you there so early? This is new. I don't remember doctor's appointments being so early anytime. Like, they're literally breakfast time. So anyway, it's also weird for me because I'm out early. And when you work from home long enough, you kind of forget that regular people have regular jobs. So I'm always like, why are there so many cars out? Why is everyone driving so aggressively? Why are people driving and putting on makeup and shaving? Oh, it's regular jobs. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I fell asleep on the couch after binging like half of season 1 of I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. I'm 90% confident I got that title right. And then I woke up like 5 in the morning and I finished the rest of it. I never ever do this. Now, it was more simple than usual. I think it's like 7 episodes and some of them are as short as 16 minutes, which I love. I'm totally fine with that. So Tim Robinson is an interesting situation. I didn't really know who he was till like 2 months ago. I know everyone says that Saturday Night Live is terrible and everything's terrible, but I think the cast for the last 7 years has been really, really good. And like 8 years ago, there was these set of sketches where these two characters, Dana and Niff, would work at, shitty jobs, and then they would hear about layoffs and they would assume they are getting laid off, so they would start blasting everyone. And then it was always this guy named Carl, and the actor portraying Carl was really good. Also, from what I know about Saturday Night Live, if you see one of like the the extra players in a sketch consistently, you can kind of assume that they co-wrote it. And I'm telling you, those Dana and Niff sketches, I've watched each one like 20 times in the last month. So I kind of became obsessed with this guy, Tim Robinson. I was looking him up, and it's like, oh, he had a Netflix show. It had 1 season. It's like, oh, I guess it must have been terrible. No, it was 1 season, then COVID, and now they're just about to come back. So I watched it, and it's really, really good. Tim Robinson is a comedy writer who really looks like a comedy writer. Like, he really looks like a writer. He's good at acting, but I've never seen someone who looked more like a writer than Tim Robinson. He's 40. He looks damn near 60. But he's good. Now, this show is weird. Now, it's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be weird comedy. But it's also like that anti-humor that was popular like 15 years ago. But then it has like... okay, we'll talk about the Netflix situation later. So it's anti-humor. It's, Tim and Eric. It's Lonely Island, who actually, I guess, produces it and directs it. It's good. It's good. It's really good. It's weird. It feels old. It feels like a show that would have been on Cartoon Network like 12 years ago, but it totally works. It's funny, but for me to sit here and, tell just describe the sketches, it's like, I don't know. The one I thought was funny where it was kind of going nowhere. It's just like, oh, it's these two couples and, they're planning the wedding and the gifts. And this guy keeps giving really weird suggestions for gifts. And then you find out that he had financed a mafia movie and it hadn't done well. So he just has random props and costumes. He's like, what if we gave everyone a fedora and plastic meatballs? But it takes a while to like get that premise, and then when you get it, it's really, really funny. So it totally works. It's a recommend. Season 2 is coming out in, I think, like 2 weeks. So let's talk about Netflix. I don't watch a lot of Netflix, but they seem to know how to keep like 3 things in my queue, in my watch list. And, if it ever gets to 0, I'll just cancel it. But it's never 0. That being said, I watch Amazon Prime Video way more than Netflix. Netflix is this weird thing where, you know how they have the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Well, there's kind of like the Netflix Cinematic Universe, is that it seems to exist in this weird world where like 30% of America is black and half of it is gay. So you're constantly, you know, kind of getting into a show and then also being taken out of it. So the sketch I mentioned with the guy who produced the Mafia movie and it didn't do well, so now he's trying to offload the props and get people to buy them. It's him and this other middle-aged white guy, and they both look like shit, him and Tim. And then both of their wives are like cute black women in their 30s. And it just really sticks out. Like, and like every scene is like that. They're like, so it'll have Tim and people who are obviously his friends and coworkers, and they're all white except for one guy. It's the guy from Game Over Man, Sam Richardson, something like that. So he's really funny. He plays this like time travel. He's kind of like Cable or the Terminator, but he's fighting like the Bonies. And so there's a couple of like ongoing themes. So I forgot to explain that. I won't explain the sketches, but the basic humor is people getting into social faux pas and then not wanting to admit that they're wrong, and trying to save face, and it just goes horribly wrong. The first sketch is perfect for the show. It's a guy goes through a kind of awkward, you know, interview at a coffee shop, and you're like thinking, he's probably got it. And then as he's leaving, he goes to pull a push door. Yeah. And then the guy he interviewed with, he's like, oh, that's a push door. And he's like, no, you can open it either way. I was here yesterday, but it's not. So he ends up literally pulling the door off the hinges just to save face. Like, that's the epitome of the humor. But then Netflix steps in, and I would swear it got more awkward the farther into the season it went. Although I might be imagining, because there's no reason to, you know, assume that the sketches were filmed in the orders of the episodes. But like this weird need to not just like be representative, but to be like over representative, and you really start noticing it. Like there's this one scene where I think Tim is supposed to be gay, although they don't make it a big deal. It's like him in a couple with a guy, and they go to a party where it's a bunch of, you know, gay guys. It's mostly men, but like every fourth person is just like a 50-year-old black woman, and you're like, what? I don't feel like this is like a, you know, a Tim and Eric style, you know, comment. It just feels like it's more Netflix, you know what I mean? So it's like, hey, it's this party, it's a bunch of gay white men, and every fourth person is a 50-year-old black woman. Okay. Like, what is going on? So you're getting this mix of like really, really good comedians and comedians, and then you get a woman who's like from a State Farm commercial, and you're like, why? Okay, I know why you're here, but it's really messing with the flow. Like, it doesn't, like, they have some really funny female comedians. They have a really funny trans comedian, but most of these people are unfortunately not black and gay. So they're like, we just need to have like, oh, he has his gay his black best friend. It's like, guy's obviously not a comedian. This guy I feel like I've seen this guy in a million commercials. He feels like he's like at the level of doing like a beer commercial, but it's like, why are you here? You're really messing it up, and it's constantly taking me out that, you know, Netflix, it's like, we love the episodes, but we need more 50-year-old black women just kind of randomly shoehorned into like, and like they don't match the comedy style. They're not even comedians, and they have multiple female comedians in this show that do really, really well. And then we're just getting just like random, you know, Netflix diversity just shoved in, and it's just weird. But it's not even weird in the way the show is weird. It's just, I wish the show was on a different network or a different streaming service or whatever. So it's definitely a recommend, although you kind of have to kind of like watch around it. It's like, you ever get like you're in a waiting room and there's like a pillar that's kind of like blocking like half of the TV, so you have to kind of like lean to watch it? That's what it feels like. the diversity here is just like this weird skinny pillar that's like blocking your view of the show. I didn't notice it in the first few episodes, but once I started noticing it, I never stopped noticing it, to the point where I almost wondered if it was like a bit, but it wasn't a bit. It's just Netflix. So anyway, it's definitely a recommend if you want to wait 2 weeks. I mean, it's very bingeable. It's short episodes. It's 7 episodes per season. So if you want to wait 2 weeks and just binge all 2 seasons, absolutely. But thanks for watching. Oh, I forgot. This is the other channel, so I don't say anything except for thanks for watching. Bye.